AITA for favoring one niece over my other nieces and nephews? I, 25, F have a niece, 6, from my older sister, 32. I heard through the family vine my sister was pregnant. So I reached out to her to congratulate her, but she didn't seem all interested in her pregnancy. After she gave birth, she signed over my niece to the father's side of the family and moved on with her life, later getting engaged and having 3 kids with another guy. Almost a year later, I found out from another relative that she gave her BC. She didn't like the way she looked. For reference, she has very dark complexion, brown eyes, and type 4 hair. We are white. And told her father, "You either take her before I leave the hospital or she goes into the system." When I confronted my sister about it, she said that she wasn't what she was looking for in a mixed baby, and I should mind my business. BC, she's not mine. I tried to ask her information about the father's side, as I wanted to reach out to see if it was okay to be a part of her life. No one would tell me anything. I have in the past reached out to her about my other nieces and nephews to be a part of their lives, but she didn't seem too interested. During the 2020 lockdown, I felt it was the perfect time to look for my niece. I found her aunt on social media. I messaged her explaining who I was and had asked if it was okay if I could be a part of my niece's life. She contacted her father and grandmother to set up a time to talk. After some talking, they agreed I could, but after some time of getting to know me, as they didn't want my niece getting attached and I bouncing later on, leaving her wondering where I went. After 2 weeks of getting to know the family, they introduced me to my niece and we instantly bonded. We talk almost every day and she calls me Titi. I am on good terms with her whole side of the family. Her grandmother says she appreciates all the effort I put into being a part of her life and can see how much my niece adores me. This year my niece has started school, so I bought her whole bunch clothes and school supplies. The sister posted pictures and videos of the gift box on IG. So this is where we currently are. My sister has a fake profile and saw the posts. She is saying I am selfish for contacting them when she told me not to. How could I be favoring my niece over my other nieces, nephews? I reminded her I've tried countless times to reach out to her and build a relationship with them, but she's always shut me down. She said if she knew I had money to spend like that in the kids, then she would have been okay with it. She wanted my niece's info so she could reach out to her, and I told her it wasn't my place to give it to her and I'd have to ask. She said, but I am her mommy. I admit I got mad and cussed her out for abandoning my niece BC of how she looked. She told my whole family I'm trying to replace her and steal her life. My family started calling me, texting me, telling me I'm selfish for choosing her over the other kids. NTA. But you should definitely tell your niece's father and aunt that she is stalking them. It's actually very sweet of you to help out a single dad with back to school. You could have easily followed your family's lead in abandoning your niece for racist and colorist reasons. Instead, you built a relationship with the family and your niece out of love. I definitely have a lot of respect for you. Your sister gave up her rights to the baby. This means she has given up all rights as to who is involved in the baby's life. You aren't stealing her life. She willingly gave it away. NTA. NTA. How weird is it to have a fake IG account to stalk your ex and your kid? Yikes. NTA. This is summed up in one sentence you wrote. She said if she knew I had money to spend like that in the kids, then she would have been okay with it. Unfortunately, your other nieces and nephews come with your sister attached. You will always be viewed as a cash cow. Relationships are individual. You don't have to have the same relationship with all your relations. Humans have preferences. Things for you to consider. 1. Your sister gave up any rights to that child. That little girl is a stranger to her. She is nothing to do with her, so your relationship with her is none of her business. She doesn't get a say or an opinion. Point 2. Why is your sister, who was so adamant about not having a relationship with her daughter, suddenly interested? What is suddenly in it for her? 3. You absolutely don't have the moral right to hand out your niece's contact information. Your sister lost the right to that information when she gave her up. Legally. Based on her looks. Morally. 4. Your sister has blocked you from having a relationship with your nieces and nephews until there was some money in it. NTA. Your sister, however, is a piece of work. She can't claim that mommy card after she abandoned her own child. That ship has sailed. You are being a good aunt, and I am glad your niece has you on her side. The only reason your sister has contacted you is because she thinks she'll get money from you. She'll use her children as tools to force money out of you to have a relationship with them. I feel bad for the kids. But I personally would not let myself be coerced into that kind of relationship. What the fuck is wrong with your sister? Actually, don't bother. I don't really care because she's absolutely broken inside. I mean JFC. Not what I wanted in a mixed baby. Why do you even speak to such a person? You're NTA. Look, you have a part of your family that you've been able to reconnect with and forge a bond with. That's awesome, and I'm thrilled your niece's family was willing to invite you in like this, because I can totally see their point. Not wanting someone from her mother's family to bounce like, well, her mother did. Your niece was robbed of an essential part of her life. Her mother. She does not know a part of herself as a result. Knowing you and that part of herself is, without question, impossible to put a value on. You are providing her love, affection, and knowledge about who she is. She needs that. And since your sister selfishly refused to provide it, she can go pound sand with her opinions. I was ready to call you an based on the title, but you are NTA. You're not favoring anybody. You reached out to bond with every child involved, and only one of them gave you a chance. You're being there for a little girl who was abandoned. There is no universe where you could possibly be the here. NTA. Your sister only seems interested in you now that she knows you have money. Before that, she didn't feel you had anything to bring to her children. You didn't force anything with your niece. Her father made the decision to let you into her life. It would have been a different story if the child had been adopted, or if you were trying to bring your niece to family reunions. She's not her mommy. She's just the egg donor. I wouldn't ask the father if it's okay to give your sister his information. I would tell him about your sister spying on him and his family. About her saying that if she knew you had money, she would have let you have a relationship with her kids. And I would give him her information so that he can make the decision himself. I would block your sister and tell everybody else to fuck off and mind their own business. That it's my life and I will do whatever I want with it. And if sister wants money, they can just give it to her. Edit. By spying, I meant stalking. Just could not remember the word until I read it in someone else's comment. NTA. But Lord, is your sister an ugly piece of work. She said if she knew I had money to spend like that in the kids, then she would have been okay with it. This part. Lord matey. You ain't a walking bank for her. But at least you know now where the priorities were. And also consider this a versus indirect. And yet to me clear admission that if you ever put any money into your other nieces and nephews, your sister would just take them all. Family tax. Perhaps is how she'd put it. Or mama tax. Either or. Fuck all the family in this. Legit. You could explain this entire situation to them. Depending on how much they matter to you. And how much you value them in your life. I don't know what kinda story your sister spun for them. Stroke the shaft. Cup the balls kinda deal to get them agreeing so hard with her their heads might fall off. But trust. You're not selfish in this. You're being the exact opposite of this. And if your sister wasn't a self-absorbed, money-obsessed bigot, she would have never shunned her daughter in the first place. You can't have it all as a fine and ugly-ass motto or a fact of life. Meaning, you might not get your family on your side, or even see the truth. But you don't have to. You've done that right. Great thing by looking out for your niece. And I'm sure she appreciates you and will. Godspeed. Good citizen. You got a good thing going. Don't you let anyone and their grandmother tell you otherwise. NTA. Your sister is racist and has a sick fetish. She played herself and she doesn't deserve a thing from you. NTA. She doesn't want you to have anything to do with her kids. She only wants you to send expensive gifts. NTA at all. Your sister sounds awful. The part about how she would have been okay to build the relationship based on the money you spent? What a piece of work. NTA. Your sister abandoned her daughter, but you did not abandon your niece. Sis has shown who she is by that line about you having so much available money to spend. NTA. Your sister openly admitted she wants you around for your money. Not because she wants you and your nibblings to build an actual relationship with each other. Your sister is a real piece of work. It's good to see your niece gets a positive relationship of some kind with her mother's side of the family. That'll probably be good for her long term. NTA. If she didn't want a mixed race child, she shouldn't have chosen a man who is another race to have a baby with. Absolutely NTA. You didn't actually choose her over the other kids. This is simply the only one you've been given the opportunity to bond with. Kudos for being there for that child so that she does have a loving relative on her mother's side, who she knows cares about her. You're also correct that your niece's contact info is not yours to give. And doing so might interfere with your ability to maintain that relationship because you might lose trust with the people who gave you access to her in the first place. You're definitely NTA. Through your actions, your niece knows she wasn't completely abandoned by her birth mother's family. And she's glad to have you in her life and grateful for the extra help you're able to give her. Your sister's other children sound as if they have a more stable two-parent family already, apart from your sister, who is the worst kind of narcissist imaginable. NTA. Your sister, however. Wow, I feel sorry for the kids she hasn't given up. Don't change your relationship with your niece for her. Sorry, but your sister is a horror. NTA. You would have been in your other nibblings lived. But your sister didn't want you to. You just want to be a good aunt. Which honestly is awesome. Keep doing what you're doing and tell your family to F off. NTA. Your sister was only interested in you so you could buy her kid stuff. The family that supported her giving niece up aren't worth a grain of salt. Your niece is important to you. You've worked hard to build a secure and loving relationship with her. She has no right to reach out to her. She's not her mom. She just wants what you gave her.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.